to never-ending chronic pain by helping complete the inflammatory process, which is normal and needed by everyone. You run into trouble when your body cannot complete the inflammatory cycle. In these cases, the inflammation just becomes chronic or even permanent. Curcumin helps to end the chronic pain by helping your body complete the inflammatory process each time an injury occurs. Because of the fact that it opens up the circulation, it improves the vision. It reduces the uric acid level in the blood, so that means it helps the kidneys to clear the uric acid, right? Gout. And improves liver function, improves bone strength.
Okay.
Right? So if it improves the nitric oxide cycle, you know it will improve bone strength. See improvements in enlarged prostate. So if you're drinking plenty of that, it helps to shrink your prostate back.
Yeah.
Right? Improves bone strength. See improvement, relieves depression. Prevents the development of type 2 diabetes. If you're getting type 2 diabetes, you start drinking turmeric tea. Yeah. Yeah. Right? Yeah. It doesn't develop into diabetes. It starts to reverse it.
Right. Okay.
Prevents, improves your heart and lowers your triglycerides if you are obese. In higher doses, enhanced curcumin decrease the incidence of heart attack by more than 50% in patients undergoing coronary bypass surgery. Improve your blood sugar status with type 2 diabetes. If you are diabetic type 2, you can increase your HDL-C, your good cholesterol levels. Reduce inflammatory bowel diseases. That's Crohn's and that kind of, which are very difficult to touch.
IBS and all of that.
Right. Improve your memory, and finally prevent and even treat Alzheimer's with a phytoceutical turmeric forte that is safe, proven effective, inexpensive, drug-free, and simple. Imagine in 18 months or less, you can experience better memory instead of worse. There's nothing on the market that can do this thing for you, especially not toxic Alzheimer's drugs.
Right.
Memory and pain. This is the eureka moment, a game changer. You can finally do something, take action, and begin to take charge again, versus slowly sinking into the dark hole of memory loss, Alzheimer's, and a nursing home. Let's say that you think your memory is beginning to disappear, or Alzheimer's runs in your family, or you just want to prevent Alzheimer's and memory loss even though you don't have it now. You simply start taking turmeric forte, 1 daily if you have no memory loss, and 2 to 4 daily if your memory is deteriorating and you have been diagnosed with Alzheimer's. Thanks to the phytoceutical magic of infusing curcumin into fenugreek fiber, curcumin gets right past the blood-brain barrier into your brain in quantities that match pharmaceutical drugs. And this is the game changer. When it comes to brain memory, dementia, and Alzheimer's, virtually all the study subjects had improved memory in 18 months or less. Compare that to the worsening of memory loss in virtually 100% of the Alzheimer's patients in 18 months or less. Let's face it, 18 months is going to come and go anyway. Do you want improved memory or a fast track to a nursing home? Simply take 1 to 4 tablets daily for life. What could be easier? And the same goes for chronic pain. Rather than just enduring never-ending pain or resorting to painkillers or opioids, you can become proactive and take the anti-inflammatory turmeric forte to help your body complete its natural inflammatory processes, just like normal people.
So this turmeric forte. If, let me say, students who studying heavily, like a doctorate or a thesis,
I suppose it would help because it gets in there and it helps to tonify the brain.
It improves memory, right?
It improves the memory.
Retention should be higher and stuff like that. But like you said, it takes time. It's not, you can't wait until the week before your exam and take it and expect to see a difference.
So I would say, if you have to do it yourself, you'd get your turmeric and you'd get a grinder. You know, you grind it is grind up stuff.
A mill.
A mill. Right? And you would put your turmeric and you'd put your ginger and you'd put your fenugreek inside there. You have to have equal amounts of fenugreek to turmeric. So if you say I have half a pound of turmeric, half a pound of fenugreek, 2 ounces ginger, right? You grind up all very fine, right? Then you take it and you put it and you fry it in oil. Again, this time for a little bit more, probably 5 minutes. You know, sprinkling your black pepper to get the absorption better. All right? You put it in your jar and you just make tea.
But apart from making tea, that paste that you're making after you fry.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say you're making a stew. Take a little spoon of that and put it in stew.
That's what you do with. That's what you do with curry.
With the curry, yeah.
Yeah. It just means to say that, you know. You know what's the other thing about it? In a little digression. You could go abroad and you could walk into a curry shop, right? Where you have about 50 different types of curry.
Yeah.
You could have a special curry for mutton. You could have about 4 or 5, ranging from mild to hot, right? The curry we have here is real.
We just go and go and pick up a pack of curry.
Yeah, you know. Sometimes you just get ones from outside, you know. So they have curry for making biryani, they have curry for making goat, they have curry. Sometimes now you see a little one different, slightly different. In other words, nobody is being adventurous.
Well,
So anybody who have an idea and they know where to get the spices, start making 10 or 12 different types of curry, who have the skills with different things, right? And put it on the shelf.
And the curry is actually made from a leaf. Is it? A root.
Curry is a mixture of a whole heap of things. The turmeric gives it its color,
Okay.
right?
Oh. All right.
And then you have a whole heap of spices. Sometimes you use fenugreek, sometimes you don't, right? So somebody if it has somebody who's make curry and they're listening to this, they'd be smart and they'd make a mixture and say, hey, we have a mixture here you use for curry that will help to keep your memory loss at 0.
Yes, add the fenugreek.
Clean up your clean up. No, they make that already added, right? And put it and sell it. They say just fry it in oil, which you're going to do in any case to start, right? Put in some garlic, which will thin the blood even more. You know, I mean, you begin to understand that the food that we used to eat
Long time.
is what used to keep us healthy.
The recipes to it.
Of course, the recipes.
Because what I recognize now is that the method and a lot of shortcuts have come into play in the recipes.
Everything is a shortcut now.
And
Because we do, you see, if you have a tradition and that tradition started from India. And these people have been living in this valley for 500 years and everybody eating curry. Right? And this one pass and say, boy, I mix up a new curry, you know, try this one for another village. And so, you know, you go up in that village and you notice everybody healthy. You say, well, they're eating a good curry, let me see what they're eating.
Right.
Right?
And then the lifestyle and the work they're doing, you know, high stress,
Yeah.
prone to injury.
Yes.
And the curry would, according to the formulation, would help with all of that.
And then people who eat in that kind of curry, women who eat in that curry, will never have period pains. Because one of the things that curcumin does is it moves the blood, especially in the uterus, in such a way that you don't get clots and cramps. So people who eat it, who drink in that irregular, that will disappear. Because it takes down the inflammatory process too.
Well, more than that, the grumpiness that goes with period will disappear too.
Listen to the punchline. That whole grumpiness is part of a fungus problem inside the body. If you cook your stuff in coconut oil, what happens? The coconut oil is kill fungus.
The antimicrobial action, yes.
The antimicrobial action goes up. So you begin to understand the very food that you're eating every day is medicine, very powerful medicine. Right? I just read in an article there and they say that if you take coconut oil and you use it as a spray for mosquitoes, it has a more powerful effect than DEET, which is one of the real mosquito killer things that is spray. So if you spray your thing, and on top of that it lasts longer.
Well, I know they say if you want to stop the mosquitoes from breeding in any water, so just throw a little oil on the surface.
We just say, throw a little coconut oil, which will make it even more. No way to stop them from breeding when they come up. Right? So the thing to do if you don't want any mosquitoes is to, you know. One of the things I noticed is that recently, within the last year, I'm sure so a lot of people will agree with me, I have been invaded by a kind of gecko lizard. And it's a noisy gecko. You have it too?
I had one by me.
I don't know where
I gave him to leave,
No, boy. You must let him live in the back of your little photographs and thing on the wall.
But
Because
when I hear the ginger man is getting my nerves, but
that I agree with. I have one that side behind a wardrobe in my thing, right? At Chester Road.
Yeah.
And he started at 10 o'clock, he's like, I said, get you. Like, go downstairs, right?
Yeah.
Go downstairs and check out your girlfriend, or go outside in the yard.
Yeah.
And I don't hear him for a few days or a few weeks, and then he come right back and he gone again, right? But I don't have any mosquitoes in my bedroom.
Yeah.
They have a phenomenal appetite for mosquitoes, you know.
All right. You stick around and keep the mosquitoes.
You know, a couple of years ago, like, so you know, I practice my thing, don't you? Yes, yeah, I get him. But if I go, and he's still making noises, say, try again.
Yeah.
So you're in the dark and you're fixing your directionality and trying to catch him where he is, you know?
Practicing your kung fu.
I practice in my kung fu. So when they come along now, they have no practice because I ain't hearing them at all, you know? So I just thought we'd go through that. And I wanted to say that I also dug out an article here. 17 little known fenugreek benefits that you can start using.
Okay.
And it talks about the estrogen-like properties in fenugreek have a positive impact on male libido and potency. It has also been proven to be effective in treating erectile dysfunction. So you can see everybody going to make turmeric and fenugreek tea.
You can't find it in the grocery now.
It is preferred because it is a natural alternative to low sex drive for both men and women. So you take it long enough and it has helped to, you know.
You can't find it in the pharmacy.
Right.
Anyway, you go to
Although it is known to treat and cure ED, the process of how exactly it does it is still not quite clear. Scientists have now concluded that saponins found in fenugreek impact the hormone levels. Such, by producing sex hormones in the body, fenugreek increases the sexual drive in both men and women. So you could have a club, you know what I mean?
But,
Let's drink fenugreek tea. It's effective in treating hernias as well as preventing colon cancer and prostate cancer. It helps with minerals and vitamins, gives a healthy heart while increasing sexual function. It benefits breastfeeding mothers. If you have a woman and she's not getting enough milk,
it's not producing.
you give her fenugreek tea. They say the diosgenin in fenugreek increases the production of milk in the breast by up to 500%, while magnesium and vitamin content in fenugreek adds to your baby receiving more nutrients. A recommended dosage of capsule form is 500 milligrams daily for women who want to increase breast milk. Doctors in India are known to prescribe fenugreek to post-pregnant women. All right? It reduces menstrual pain and discomfort. So that means when you put it together with turmeric, you have a double blast for that.
Yeah.
You know, Emagog that opens up obstructive menses, relieving associated symptoms with pain. Minimizes the symptoms of menopause. The diosgenin and estrogenic isoflavones of fenugreek have similarities to the female sex hormones. The menopausal symptoms are loss of estrogen, so fenugreek with its compounds acts to restore those components by easing menopausal symptoms. Right? Effectively proven to treat symptoms such as mood swings, cramps, depression, and hunger pains. So I would suspect that your fenugreek and turmeric tea, both of them having the ability to relieve, will probably relieve mild depression and anxiety. It acts to keep other hormones balanced by regulating your entire system. It helps to reduce labor pains. It increases the size and fullness of the breast. Right. It increases breast tissue. Fenugreek is rich in steroidal saponins and have been proven to prevent the absorption of cholesterol and triglycerides. It has also been shown to lower the low density LDL, which is a key factor in reducing blood cholesterol, and it also aids the circulation of blood through the body while keeping the natural pH levels active. So it helps to balance the pH. It has a great impact. It plays a vital role in heart health, and high levels of potassium, which acts to control heart rate and blood pressure while reducing sodium. It aids in the circulation, so the heart isn't stressed or fatigued. It is strong compound. The fenugreek has strong compounds known as mucilage. It has a thick mucus. You know, like if you have flaxseed and you blend it up and you suddenly get a thick jelly-like thing, same thing, which coats the lining of the stomach and the intestines that soothes irritated gastrointestinal tissues. It also helps heartburn due to its high anti-inflammatory compounds that act to oxidize acid levels with the tract and the stomach. Effective treatment for acid reflux and heartburn. Inhibit the production of cancer cells while leaving healthy cells alone. Right? It works by decreasing blood sugar levels, so it helps to take it. Further helps by lowering cholesterol levels. Fenugreek has a natural soluble fiber in galactomannan that acts to suppress appetite and make you feel more full. So it helps to, you know, control your thing. So it's good for fever, for sore throat, for constipation. Well, once you have mucilage in it, it will help to help the stool move along. Good for colon cancer, preventative for colon cancer, for skin problems. It says it's high quality vitamin C, B, and E and other minerals which can treat various skin conditions such as burns, eczemas, and boils.
So this fenugreek is a herb that you use dry and fresh?
Yes. Methi can be used to fight and prevent blackheads, pimples, and wrinkles.
Okay.
So you see, it's good for thinning hair.
Okay.
Whoa. So this is another, what I call another super herb.
Yeah.
Right?
And you don't hear about these super herbs. The pharmaceutical company don't want you to know about it.
No, that's why you have me. For digging out the
important man. Fenugreek. Yeah.
So it says that when you use it for hair growth, it not only does it make your hair grow, if your hair gray, it will tend to change it back to black.
All right. Looking for fenugreek today. Not tomorrow, today.
For more than one reason too.
Yeah. All the reasons. All.
So it, as they say, it's good for acid reflux and heartburn. And it's interesting that they should say that, because I had another article here that I found very, very interesting. Antacids and death.
Okay.
Antacids, especially proton pump inhibitors that actually stops the production of stomach acid, are the scourge of Americans and a disgrace to the medical and pharmaceutical industries.
Yes.
A new study shows that taking these drugs is associated with death. A remarkably new study showed that an increased risk of death associated with taking these drugs. And the mortality risk increased the longer the drugs were used. And why not? Most people taking these drugs suffer from heartburn and reflux from low stomach acid, which causes food to rot in the stomach. Okay. This rotten food actually produces gases and acids that cause even more heartburn and reflux. The obvious treatment is to enhance and increase the stomach acid to stop the rotting of food. Equally obvious, by reducing stomach acid, these drugs make this condition worse. The low stomach acid made worse with these drugs makes it impossible for you to absorb critical nutrients, leading to more than 50 diseases. The cause of these diseases are low stomach acid and goes unrecognized by almost all physicians who treat these diseases as individual new problems using more prescription drugs. In other words, you start using the proton pump inhibitors and you have a low stomach acid. Now, bearing in mind that stomach acid is the first line of defense in your stomach for killing unwanted bacteria and things like that. Then all your minerals depend upon being broken down by the acid into chlorides so that it gets absorbed in the system. And all that is gone, right? So it causes malnutrition from low stomach acid, and the side effects from totally unwarranted drugs cause the inevitable result, early death. Need anything more besides? If you need help, be sure to see the articles on that. And it quoted, risk of death among users of proton pump inhibitors, a longitudinal observation cohort study of United States veterans. And it was printed in the BMJ Open 2017, July the 4th. the British Medical Journal.
Right.
So it is a journal of prestige.
Yes.
And this is what it says.
Right. So the Western medical system
And you still see them being
has taken to prescribing something that brings on early death.
yes, and not only that, brings on a lot of illnesses in between.
So they could prescribe more drugs that you don't really need. Right.
Right. Oh, I thought I'd take this one out for you. You know that they're now taking stem cells from meat and they're putting it in a soup, and they're growing meat in a vat.
Oh,
Or they're growing a protein thing that looks like meat, and you color it and things. Yeah, it is called it. U.S. paves the way to get lab meat on plates. In other words, people are making it enough now that they're thinking of going into giant production.
Right.
So just now when you get meat, you don't know where it come from.
So next time I walk into them warehouse shopping stores and I see meat, I have to pass it straight.
Yes. Find your partner who kill a goat and get a piece. Lab meat backers argue avoiding slaughtering animals will reduce both suffering and greenhouse emissions. The U.S. authorities on Friday agreed on how to regulate food products cultured from animal cells, paving the way to get the so-called lab meat on American plates. I think that's been done already, you know, very quietly, and you don't know.
Because when
I've become so skeptical.
When you buy a hamburger, you
Usually eat it, right? The Department of Agriculture and Food and Drug Administration agreed to share the regulation of cell-cultured food products. They said in a joint statement following a public meeting in October, while technical details have yet to be confirmed, the FDA will oversee the collection and differentiation of cells when stem cells develop to specialized cells, while the USD will oversee production and labeling of the food products. This regulatory framework leverage both the FDA experience regulating cell culture technology and living biosystem and the US expertise in regulating livestock and poultry products for human consumption, which is interesting because the chickens that are grown in the factory farms in the United States, they come out so crazy that when they cut them up, what they do is they soak them in chlorine. So chickens grown in the United States cannot be exported to European countries because they say they do not want chicken that has been exposed to chlorine.
Because chlorine is
So if you buy chicken in the grocery, and when you bust open the plastic, you're smelling chlorine, you know where it come from.
Everybody at the park home in the backyard and raise a
You know, in some groceries, if they have the chicken on the shelf, and it starts to go off, well, it starts to get a little smelly. You know what they do? They don't take it and throw it away, you know. They take it and they get some chlorine and they dump it in the chlorine and in chlorine bath for a little while. They take it out, right, and they repackage it because that kills the smell.
Yeah.
But it doesn't kill the fact that the meat has started putrefying. California company, not just known for its eggless mayonnaise, had said previously it plans to sell cell-cultured meat by the end of this year, and told the AFP it looked forward to working with these agencies. Other agencies such as Memphis Meats and Mosa Meats in the Netherlands are working to get production costs down with some backing from the agri-food. The backers of lab meat argue avoid slaughtering animals will reduce both the suffering and greenhouse emissions and is a sustainable option to feed growing populations hungry for protein.
So we're going from Frankenfish to Franken meat.
Yes. The USDA is going to oversee labeling, and we are ecstatic about that because the FDA does not require pre-market label approval before the products hit the shelves. Don't you find it very interesting?
And then you know all the fast food industry is going to gravitate towards that. Because they can get an unlimited amount of supply in a limited amount of time. And
I found another article here that I thought was very interesting. I've known about this a while, but this is another slant to it. You know that people who feed their babies soy formula, right? Very heavy soy formula when they're young. That by the time the baby reaches 8, 9 years old, it starts to menstruate. Right? So you have little girls now menstruating at 8, 9, and 10. Right? But this have another aspect to this. Soy formula feeding during infancy associated with severe menstrual pain in adulthood.
Okay.
Right? New research suggests that, you see, we never look at things in the long term. So we look at it and we say, this is soy. In Chinese writing, the word for soy does not have the slash for eating, which means you're not supposed to eat it. Right? From long time they have that slash. But now we decided, no, we're going to eat it, you know. Excess estrogen. So it says, new research suggests that infant girls fed soy formula are more likely to develop severe menstrual pain as young adults. This finding adds to the growing body of literature that suggests exposure to soy formula during early life may have detrimental effects on the reproductive system. It has detrimental effects on the boys too, because by the time they get to 8, 9, and 10, they're growing breasts like a woman.